Hello, students. Second module. We are going to discuss about second module, that is creating and capturing value. First of all, we are going to discuss about what is a product. A product is anything that could be offered to satisfy consumers' needs and wants. According to Jobber 2004, a product is anything that has the ability to satisfy a customer need. There are different levels of product or dimensions of a product or aspects or layers of a product are core product or core benefit, basic product, expected product, augmented product and potential product. Then it can be shown customer value hierarchy. So it can be shown here core product, basic product, expected product, augmented product and potential product. The term product concept was used by Theodore Levitt. According to him, product concept refers to the augmented product or the aggregate of satisfactions that a user obtains. Classification of products or goods: non-durable, durable and services. On the basis of consumption, goods can be classified into two: consumer and industrial goods. Consumer goods are those which are purchased for final consumption. Example, toothpaste, milk, etc. Characteristics of consumer goods are final consumption, finished products, utility, associated services, brand name, symbolism, communication packages, numerous buyers, small quantity purchase and personal consideration. Classification: it includes convenience goods, shopping goods, specialty goods and unsought goods. Then fast moving consumer goods, another variety, that is FMCGs. It may be defined as products that have a quick turnover and relatively low cost. They are also known as consumer packaged goods, that is CPCGs. They are further classified into three: staple, impulse and emergency goods. Industrial goods are meant for use in the production of other goods or for some business or institutional purposes. Then we are going to discuss about the differences. So difference between industrial goods and consumer goods are: industrial goods are used by producers, consumer goods are used by final consumers. Demand for industrial goods is derives from consumer goods. Demand for consumer goods is direct or primary demand. Here it is available for further production, here it is for final consumption. Here the volume of purchase is high and in consumer goods it is low. Channel of distribution is short, here it is long. In the case of industrial goods, advertising and sales promotion play a minor role. Here it plays a major role. In case of industrial goods, number of buyers is few. Here it is large. Industrial goods require further processing before they can be finally consumed. Here it does not require any further processing. Then we move on to branding. It simply means naming a product for its identification and distinction. Picton and Broderick describe branding as: it is a strategy to differentiate products and companies to build economic value for both the consumer and the brand owner. They have two parts: brand name and trademark. And trademark, it is a legal term. And both this brand name, brand mark, trademark and copyright are collectively known as the language of branding. Then difference between brand and trademark: name, symbol, design or combination shows in brand. While trademark, it is a registered brand. It can be copied, cannot be copied, limited scope, wide scope. All brands are not trademarks, all trademarks are brands. Generally a symbol of the qualities of the product, it is a symbol of its company. Reasons or objectives or functions of branding: it plays an important role in demand creation and pushing up sales. Then it makes the product attractive and popular, helps in identifying the product and distinguish it from the goods of competitors. Advertising and sales promotion programs help it ensures uniformity of quality and satisfaction to buyers. It helps the manufacturers in introducing their new products in the market successfully. It helps the seller or manufacturer to earn goodwill or prestige. It develops brand loyalty and consumer preference. Essential or characteristics of good brand. The word selected for branding must be simple and easy to pronounce. It should be simple and memorable. It must be attractive to the eyes and pleasing to ears. Then trademarks must provide necessary suggestion about the product's benefits. Then the name should be appropriate and suitable to the product. It should suggest some product quality. It should be illustrative and clearly distinctive from other brands. It should not be outdated. Types: manufacturer brands, private distributor brand or dealer brands, generic brands, family brand, individual brand and licensed brand. Advantages or importance or functions of branding. First of all, it is about manufacturers. It helps in advertising and display programs. It helps to control the market. It improves the product differentiation effort. It creates goodwill for the market. It helps to maintain price stability. It helps to reduce market expenses. It facilitates the expansion of the product mix. It facilitates introduction of new products and it creates brand loyalty. Advantages to consumers. Branded products are believed to deliver better quality. It is an easy way to identify products. Branded goods are usually sold in sealed packages. This gives protection to the goods from heat, moisture, dust, etc. Consumers can get products of uniform standard and design. It makes shopping easier. It assures prices to consumers. Advantages to distributors. It reduces the selling efforts. It helps in advertising and sales promotion programs. There is stability in the prices of branded products. It reduces cost of distribution. It helps to find out quick moving products easily. Limitation of branding. It is expensive. It is not easy to build up brand reputation and loyalty. Brand loyalty discourages the consumers from trying out other new brands. Brand names do not always assure good quality. It leads to some kind of monopoly known as brand monopoly. Consumers may get confused while selecting a particular product out of numerous brands in the marketplace. It promotes unfair competition. Branded goods are priced higher than unbranded goods. Product and brand relationship. Next topic. It's a very close relationship between product and brand. Both are inseparable. When the product exists, brand also exists. Product illengil brand illa. There is a direct relation between product and its brand because a product is what represents the brand. Without a product, there is no need for a product brand. The product may be equal to brand or brand may be equal to product. Then difference between them. Made by company, made by customers, made by the company in the factory and purchased by a customer in exchange. Built, rough customer perception, expectation and experiences. Can be copied by competitors at any time. Cannot be copied by competitors. Can become obsolete. Can be timeless. Instantly meaningful and useful to customers because it serves a specific function for them. Meaningless until customers have a chance to experience it, build trust with it and believe in it, perform a function, offer an emotion. Customers don't fall in love with product. Here, fall in love with brand, fulfill need, fulfill want. Then it is about brand equity. Simply refers to value associated with a brand. It was defined by Farquhar, F-E-R-Q-U-H-A-R in 1989. According to him, brand equity is the added value with which a given brand endorses a product. It includes various elements: brand awareness, perceived quality or perceived value, brand associations, and brand loyalty. It can be shown here. brand awareness, perceived value, brand loyalty and brand association. Advantages of brand equity. First of all, to marketer, it increases the efficiency and effectiveness of marketing programs, allows a firm to have greater customer loyalty. It should charge premium price, greater opportunities for growth, a good source of achieving leverage in distribution channels, competitive advantage. To customers, it helps in information processing, customer confidences in the purchase decisions. It provides satisfaction to customers. Then it is about product and service differentiation. Product differentiation simply refers to the process of making a product or service different in some respects from the competitive products or services. According to Kotler, differentiation is the act of designing a set of meaningful differences to distinguish the company's offer. കമ്പനിയുടെ ഓഫറിനെ കോമ്പറ്റീറ്റേഴ്സ് ഓഫറിൽ നിന്ന് ഡിസ്റ്റിങ്ക്യൂഷ് ചെയ്യുന്നു. Then importance of product and service differentiation helps to attract customers' attention in the face of alternative products, helps to identify the products and eliminate the confusion for them, build competitive advantage over other brands, demand of different segments of the market, non-price competition, facing competition from competitors' products, maintain control over the price of the product. പിന്നെ ചില മെത്തേഡ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ വഴികളാണ് പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ് ഓർ സർവീസ് ഡിഫറൻസിയേഷന്. ബെനിഫിറ്റ്സ്, ഡിസൈൻ, പ്രൈസ്, ക്വാളിറ്റി ആൻഡ് കസ്റ്റമർ സർവീസ്. Next topic, it is about packaging. It refers to the activities of wrapping or enclosing the product in a container to facilitate transportation, storage, sale or consumption. Role or functions or objects: protection, convenience, promotion, identification, branding and information. Then advantages of packaging. First of all, it is to marketer. Promotes the products from being damaged or spoiled. Promotes product, facilitates storage and transportation, helps in branding, enhances goodwill, act as silent salesman. Advantages to middlemen: facilitates transportation and storage, easy display, keeps the product fresh and clean, self-advertising. Then it is to consumer: convenient handling, less possibility of adulteration, information regarding use and upkeep, and easy identification. Requisites: a package should suit the product, it must protect the contents, it must meet the requirements of different segments of consumers who have different levels of income, it must be attractive, durable and should be reasonable. Next is about labeling. A label is that of a product that carries information about the product and the seller. In the words of Mason and Rath, the label is an informative tag, not information, wrapper or seal attached to a product or product's package. Kinds of labels: brand label, grade label, descriptive label and information label. Advantages or functions of labeling: identifies the product or brand, announces product description and useful information, grades the product, contains the prices of the product which cannot be varied by the sellers, helps in advertising. Then disadvantages: it is of no use to the illiterate people. Cost of product increase ചെയ്യുന്നു. It is effective only when standardization is necessary, as it helps the customers to compare the merits and demerits of the product. The lower quality products are sure to be discarded by them. എന്തായാലും ഡിസ്കാർഡ് ചെയ്യും ആൾക്കാർ എന്നുള്ളത്. Warranties and guarantees: warranty is a promise by a manufacturer that a certain product is free from defects and that it will perform optimally as required. Types-ലെ രണ്ട് തരം: express and implied. Then meaning of guarantee: a guarantee is an assurance by the manufacturer that a certain product is of high quality. It is a community given by the seller concerning the product quality. Key differences: the guarantee serves as a promise of commitment made by manufacturer to the buyer that in case the product is below the specified quality, it will be repaired, replaced or the money deposited will be refunded. തിരിച്ചു കൊടുക്കാം എന്നുള്ളത്. Warranty is a written assurance that the facts specified in the product are true and genuine, but if they are not, it will be repaired or replaced. The guarantee is a sort of commitment made by the manufacturer to the purchaser of goods, whereas warranty is an assurance given to the buyer by the manufacturer of the goods. Guarantee oral or written ആണ് and it is hardened to proven. Warranty is usually written and it can be easily proven. Guarantee covers products, service, persons and consumer satisfaction, while warranty covers products only. Guarantee is free of cost. On the other hand, the customer should have to pay for the warranty to safeguard the interest. A guarantee is comparatively less formal than a warranty. The term of the guarantee varies from item to item. Conversely, the warranty is for long term. In the case of guarantee, money back is possible if stated specifically. However, it is not possible in warranty. A warranty is a subsidiary condition of sale which may be expressed or implied. On the other hand, guarantee may or may not be a condition of sale. Warranty covers only repairs of the article, but guarantee covers repairs, replacement or money back. Then we are moving on to next topic, price. Price is the amount paid by the buyer to the seller for a product. In the words of David J. Shorts, price is the money you pay for any product or service. Steps in setting the price: studying target market, selecting the pricing objective, determining demand, estimating costs, analyzing prices of competitors, selecting the pricing method, and setting the final price. Objectives: to maximize profit, to maintain or improve the market share, to achieve a desired rate of return on investment, to meet or prevent competition, to stabilize the product prices, to mobilize resources for development and expansion, to build image and enhance goodwill. Factors ആണ് അടുത്തത്. Which influencing pricing decision of pricing policies internaലും എക്സ്റ്റേണലുമായിട്ട് ഡിവൈഡ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. Internal factors includes cost, objectives, organizational factors, marketing mix, product differentiation and product life cycle. External factors includes demand, competition, distribution channels, general economic conditions and government policy. Cost based pricing policy അതിനകത്ത് വരുന്നതാണ് കോസ്റ്റ് പ്ലസ് പ്രൈസിങ്. ഏതൊക്കെ തരത്തിലുള്ള പ്രൈസിങ് പോളിസീസ് എന്നുള്ളതാണ്. അണ്ടർ ദിസ് മെത്തേഡ് ദ പ്രൈസ് ഈസ് കമ്പ്യൂട്ടഡ് ബൈ ആഡിങ് എ സർട്ടൻ പെർസെൻറ്റേജ് ഓഫ് പ്രോഫിറ്റ് ടു ദ കോസ്റ്റ് ഓഫ് ദ പ്രോഡക്റ്റ് പെർ യൂണിറ്റ്. Advantages: this method is appropriate when it is difficult to forecast the future demand. This method guarantees recovery of cost. It helps to set the price easily. Both single product and multi-product firms can apply this method for pricing. It ensures stability in pricing. If this method is adopted by all firms within the industry, the firm, or we can say within the industry, the problem of price war can be avoided. Then it is about target pricing. Under this method, the cost is added with a predetermined target rate of return on capital invested. Advantages: this method guarantees a certain rate of return on investment. Then it can be used for pricing new products. It is better than cure. Prevention is better than cure in the principle ആണ് apply ചെയ്യുന്നത്. Marginal cost pricing. Here it is on the base of marginal or variable cost. Advantages: it is useful in a competitive market, helps in optimum utilization or optimum allocation of resources, particularly useful when the products have low demand. This method is suitable to pricing over the life cycle of the product. It is a suitable method of short-run pricing. It is useful at the time of introducing a new product. In break-even pricing, under this method, the firm determines the price at which it will break even. It is the point at which the total sales are equal to total cost എന്ന് പറയാം, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ no profit no loss ആയിട്ടുള്ള പോയിന്റ് ആണ് അവിടെ കാണിക്കുന്നത്. Then we are going to move on next topic. It is pricing policies, which represents the general framework within which pricing decisions are taken. In short, pricing policy is the policy adopted to determine the price of a product. According to Cundiff and Still, price policies provide the guidelines within which pricing strategy is formulated and implemented. Then methods of pricing there are three basic methods: cost based, demand based and competition based. First of all, demand-based pricing policy, differential and premium pricing. Differential under this method, same product is sold at different prices to different customers in different places and at a different period. So there is no confusion for you all. Then premium pricing, it is based on the principle that the product or brand should be positioned at the top of the market and must offer greater value in qualitative terms than similar brands in other price segments. Competition based pricing policy, next one, it includes going rate policy and customary or conventional pricing. Going rate pricing or going rate policy, it is the method of charging prices according to what competitors are charging. Advantages, it helps in avoiding cutthroat competition among the firm. It is found more suitable when costs are difficult to measure. Less expensive because calculation of cost and demand is not necessary. To avoid price war in oligopoly, it can be used for pricing new products. Customary, there are prices fixed by custom or tradition. The price will change only when the cost changes significantly. Advantages, it is simple to follow. It avoids a price war between competitors. It brings harmony and stability in the market. Methods or strategies of pricing of new products, it includes two strategies, skimming price policy and penetration price policy. We are going to discuss about stringing price policy. First of all, it refers to high initial price charged when a new product is introduced in the market. Reasons for adopting this strategy are, in the initial stage of introduction of a product, demand is relatively inelastic. To recover the heavy expenditure incurred on research, development, advertisement and sales promotion of new product. When there are no close substitutes, elasticity of demand is not known. Buyers have no measuring rod for comparing value and utility to attract the consumers of high income group. Next is penetration price policy. This is the practice of charging a low price right from the beginning to stimulate the growth of the market and to capture a large share. This policy is found successful in the following conditions. Product has high price elasticity in the initial stage. The product is accepted by a large number of customers. Economies of large scale production are available to a firm. The potential market for the product is fairly large and it has a good deal for future prospects. When the cost of production is low, to introduce the product into the market, to discourage new competitors when most of the firms are from low income group. Then it is about pricing strategies. It is a special kind of plan formulated in order to meet the challenge of external factors, particularly from the policies of competitors. In the words of Thomson, strategies are means to ends and these ends concern the purpose and objectives of the organization. They are the things that businesses do, the paths they follow and the decisions they take in order to reach certain points and levels of success. Difference between pricing policy and pricing strategy. Pricing policy is general while pricing strategy is specific. Pricing policy is for longer period while pricing strategy is a temporary measure. Then steps: selecting target markets, studying consumer behavior, identifying competition, assigning price a role in the marketing mix, relating cost and demand, determining strategic prices. Important pricing strategies: psychological pricing, geographical pricing, base point pricing, zone pricing, dual pricing, administered pricing, markup, product line, captive product pricing and price bundling. Price adjustment strategies: discount pricing and allowances, discriminatory, psychological, promotional, value and international pricing. Pricing for rural markets: low price, simple packaging, reusable packaging, credit facility, value engineering and price discounts. Methods of pricing for rural markets: cost plus pricing, value pricing, power price points and the last but not the least, penetration pricing. Thank you all.